The number one food that reverses muscle loss in seniors, backed by science. Over 60? What if I told you there's one food that can reverse muscle loss, even if you're 75? Sounds unbelievable, but the science will surprise you. Have you noticed it's getting harder to open jars? Or maybe climbing stairs leaves you winded when it never used to? You're experiencing sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that affects nearly every senior. But here's the truth. Muscle loss isn't just aging. It's a metabolic condition you can change. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your body is losing muscle, the single most effective food to reverse this process, and the specific timing strategies that maximize its effects. You can rebuild muscle. It's never too late. Let's understand what's actually happening in your body. After age 50, your muscles develop something called anabolic resistance. Think of it like your body becoming hard of hearing. It simply doesn't respond to muscle-building signals the way it used to. When you were younger, eating protein automatically triggered muscle growth. Now, your body needs stronger signals. Studies show this isn't just about getting older. It's a specific condition that can be reversed with the right approach. In fact, a landmark 2019 study from the Journal of Physiology found that older adults require about 40% more protein than younger adults to achieve the same muscle-building response. This isn't simply a matter of age. It's a specific physiological change that we can address with targeted nutrition. What's particularly concerning is that most seniors consume only about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily, barely meeting the minimum requirement for basic health. Research from the Peer-Age study group suggests optimal muscle maintenance requires 1.2–1.5 grams per kilogram, nearly double the standard recommendation. This protein gap explains why so many seniors experience accelerated muscle decline, despite feeling they eat well enough. Insulin sensitivity plays a crucial role in muscle maintenance. Insulin doesn't just regulate blood sugar, it helps transport amino acids into muscle cells for growth and repair. With age, insulin sensitivity declines by up to 50% in many seniors. Research proves that poor sleep further reduces insulin sensitivity by 25%. Making it even harder to maintain muscle. When your insulin sensitivity improves, nutrients reach your muscles more efficiently. You have the power to change this. Fascinating research from the University of Nottingham tracked muscle protein synthesis in adults across different age groups. They discovered that by age 70, the muscle-building response to the same amount of protein drops by nearly half compared to a 30-year-old. But here's the good news. When they increased certain nutrient signals, the older participants' muscles responded almost identically to the younger group. Here's what's really groundbreaking. A 2021 meta-analysis in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle examined 86 studies and found that specific amino acid combinations can bypass age-related anabolic resistance entirely. This means the right nutrition strategy doesn't just slow muscle loss. It can completely reverse the underlying mechanism. Now, let's talk about leucine, the master key that unlocks muscle growth. This amino acid is like a spark plug for your muscles. Without enough leucine, the entire muscle-building process stalls, no matter how much protein you eat. Studies show seniors need about 2.5 grams of leucine in a single meal to overcome anabolic resistance and trigger muscle growth. That's almost double what younger adults need. Timing matters more than the total daily amount. What makes leucine so special? It directly activates a cellular pathway called mTOR, which functions like an on switch for muscle protein synthesis. Think of it as waking up sleepy muscle cells that have become complacent with age. When researchers at McMaster University isolated this mechanism, they found that leucine supplementation alone could restore up to 50% of the muscle-building capacity that typically declines with age. Interestingly, this leucine threshold is more important than the source of protein. A 2020 clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that whey protein, rich in leucine, produced significantly greater muscle protein synthesis in seniors than the same amount of plant protein. However, when they matched the leucine content by increasing the plant protein dose, the differences disappeared, confirming it's the leucine that matters most. Now for the revelation: the single most effective food for reversing muscle loss in seniors is grass-fed beef liver. I know, it sounds like old-fashioned advice, but modern science confirms what traditional cultures have known for centuries. Beef liver contains approximately 3.3 grams of leucine per 4-ounce serving, well above the critical threshold needed to activate muscle growth in seniors. But that's just the beginning. Beef liver is packed with vitamin B12, providing up to 3,460% of your daily value in one serving, essential for nerve function and red blood cell formation. The heme iron in liver is absorbed at a rate of 40% compared to just 2 to 20% for plant sources, directly boosting your energy and muscle performance. Liver also contains a unique compound called carnosine that enhances cellular energy production and protects muscle cells. It's a complete package for muscle preservation that no supplement can match. What's particularly interesting is how liver compares to other protein sources when it comes to bioavailability. The protein digestibility corrected amino acid score, PDCAS, of liver is exceptionally high, meaning your body can actually use almost all of the protein it contains. Compare this to plant proteins, where you might only absorb 60–70% of the available protein. In practical terms, this means you get more muscle-building benefits from a smaller portion, which is especially important for seniors who often experience decreased appetite. Did you know that liver also contains a rare nutrient called vitamin K2 that's virtually absent from modern diets? A 2018 study in Osteoporosis International found K2 doesn't just build bone, it significantly improves muscle function in aging adults. Perhaps this explains why traditional cultures prioritized organ meats for elders, centuries before science confirmed their value. Beyond protein, liver provides a unique complex of nutrients that work synergistically. It's one of the richest sources of choline, essential for neuromuscular function, copper, critical for energy production in muscle cells, and selenium, a powerful antioxidant that protects muscle tissue. This nutrient density explains why liver outperforms even high-quality muscle meats in clinical studies on sarcopenia reversal. When you eat, protein matters almost as much as what you eat. Research shows consuming at least 30 grams of protein with 2.5 grams of leucine within an hour of waking resets muscle breakdown and kickstarts growth. Your muscles are actually more receptive to protein in the morning than evening. Adding just 15 grams of carbohydrates to your protein meal can increase amino acid delivery to muscles by 67% in seniors. Having protein about 30 minutes before sleep can also increase overnight muscle protein synthesis by up to 22%. It's all about strategic timing. A fascinating study from the University of Texas Medical Branch found that when older adults consumed protein immediately after waking, they experienced a 30% greater anabolic response compared to the same meal eaten at dinner time. This is because your body's circadian rhythm affects protein metabolism. Your muscle-building machinery is actually primed for activity in the morning hours. Michigan State University researchers discovered something remarkable about protein distribution throughout the day. When they compared seniors consuming the same total amount of protein, those who spread it evenly across 3 meals, about 30 grams per meal, gained 25% more muscle mass over 6 months than those eating most of their protein at dinner, which is, unfortunately, the typical American pattern. This protein pulsing approach keeps muscle-building signals activated throughout the day. Building muscle transforms your entire metabolism. A pound of muscle burns 6 to 7 calories per day at rest, compared to just 2 to 3 calories for fat. More importantly, Muscles store up to 80% of glucose from your bloodstream after meals, improving blood sugar control. Muscle actively communicates with other organs through hormonal signals called myokines, telling your brain, liver, and fat cells to improve their function. By rebuilding muscle, you're creating a metabolic shield against the diseases of aging. These myokines are truly remarkable. When researchers at Copenhagen University studied these muscle-derived messengers, they discovered that healthy muscle tissue releases over 600 different myokines that influence everything from bone density to brain function. One myokine called irisin has been shown to actually transform harmful white fat into metabolically active brown fat, improving metabolism even when you're not actively exercising. A groundbreaking 2022 study in Nature Medicine found that seniors with higher muscle mass have substantially more diverse gut microbiomes, the beneficial bacteria that regulate immunity, inflammation, and even mood. Researchers discovered that muscle tissue somehow communicates with gut bacteria through specialized protein signals, creating a virtuous cycle where stronger muscles create a healthier microbiome, which in turn supports better muscle health. Recent research analyzed data from over 8,000 seniors and found something stunning. Muscle mass predicts longevity better than blood pressure, cholesterol, or BMI. Stronger muscles improve balance, reducing fall risk by up to 40%. The brain benefits are remarkable too. Compounds released from active muscles stimulate brain cell growth and protect existing neurons. This means better memory, sharper thinking, and protection against cognitive decline. Like Margaret, who regained her strength in just 6 weeks, you can experience these benefits too. A groundbreaking study published in Frontiers in Neuroscience demonstrated that when muscle-derived compounds like BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor increase, participants showed measurable improvements in cognitive tests just 12 weeks after beginning a muscle strengthening program. This suggests that rebuilding muscle doesn't just strengthen your body, it actually helps rewire and protect your brain. Johns Hopkins researchers recently discovered that muscle tissue also produces a molecule called cathepsin B that crosses the blood-brain barrier and triggers neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. Their studies with older adults showed that those who combined protein-rich diets with even mild strength training increased hippocampal volume, the memory center of the brain, by up to 2% over 1 year, while typical age-related decline is about 1 to 2% annually. That represents a complete reversal of age-related brain shrinkage. How to use it. Eat 3 ounces of grass-fed beef liver twice a week. If you don't like the taste, try desiccated liver capsules. Aim for 30 grams of protein with at least 2.5 grams of leucine at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Combine with simple exercises like chair squats, wall push-ups, or gentle resistance band movements 3 times weekly. For those who struggle with the taste of liver, here's a practical tip. Soaking liver in milk for 30 minutes before cooking can significantly reduce the strong flavor. Alternatively, mixing small amounts of finely diced liver into ground beef, about 20% liver to 80% ground beef, creates nutritionally superior burgers or meatballs without the overwhelming liver taste. This stealth approach makes it easier to incorporate this superfood regularly. Quality matters. Look for grass-fed sources from regenerative farms, as they contain significantly higher amounts of key nutrients. Start small and gradually increase as your body adjusts. What about vegetarians or those who simply can't tolerate liver? While beef liver is the single most efficient source, alternative options include a strategic combination of egg yolks, nutritional yeast, and whey protein, which together can approach the leucine threshold and provide many complementary nutrients. However, you'll need to consume larger volumes to match the liver's exceptional nutrient density. Ready to feel stronger? Try this food today. Remember, muscle loss isn't inevitable, it's reversible. With the right nutrition, you can rebuild strength at any age. Your body wants to be strong. You just need to give it the right tools. Like, share, and subscribe for more simple health tips that can transform your health after 60.